broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome, everybody. This is Kevin. Welcome to the Tuesday night Sqribble meeting. Pleasure to have everybody on this evening. And tonight we're going to go over a few things in Sqribble. I've got a few members asking some questions, so I'm going to bring those up here so you guys can see them also. And I'll try to answer these as best as possible. Got a lot of new people coming aboard. Welcome to the new people. Welcome, welcome. People still coming in. This is good. Hello, Kashiki Shiki. Love your name, by the way. Very cool. Welcome. Edine, welcome. David, Lynn, John, Nancy, you're back. Parthenia, Paula, welcome back. David, pleasure to see you. All right, Lydia, great to have you here. Can't say all the names. Got to keep scrolling here. Welcome, welcome. Try to get to everybody as I can here, but we're going to get started here in just a little bit. It has been a busy day, quite busy, but all good. Welcome, Moses. Saw just coming in here. Can't keep scrolling here. It's like so many. Hey, John. Pleasure. Okay, we'll get started here in just a little bit here. Here's some of the questions. Let me see. Someone's asking about Snagit and other tools to cut pictures, Lexia art, and all that stuff. I'll try to get to this tonight. And another one, I'm sure you guys see this too, when we're in the system and we're doing editing within Sqribble. This happens with the editors. If you're trying to put a link in, let's say it says click here in one of your pages, and then you highlight it and you put a link on it, it changes color. A lot of times it will do that. If you haven't noticed that, try it sometime. And then I think my thought is you got to go back to it and try to see if you can change the color. But for some reason, the URL, the hyperlink, will change it. We'll change the color of the link. And we'll try that in a little bit as people come aboard. These are a few questions that I just brought over. And then someone was asking multiple languages for the audiobooks with Talkable, like Swiss and French. French and English. That's good. Good question. I'm not quite sure about that one, but we'll give it a look and see what we can figure out here. Welcome, welcome for all the people just coming in. This is Kevin. We'll get started here in a few more minutes. Glad to have you guys here. You guys have chose a great product. I love Sqribble. And I also love the other one. I love Presenter too. Presenter is great. But you need both. You really need both. Sqribble has a little different items than what Presenter has, and Presenter is kind of the new uplift, and it has so much more also. Love them both. Love them both. And I think most of you guys probably have it, so that's great. That is great. But welcome, welcome, and hello, Lynn, my right and left hand within the system here. She does most of the work with the collaboration. So I'm sure when you guys go to sqribblebookteam@gmail, it's Lynn that fires back. She's the one that usually answers and has everybody coming back in. We got a lot of ideas coming up in the fall. I'm kind of excited because we really need, like I keep saying, we really need to twist everything here. As you're doing Sqribble, you guys got to really get out of the box. Don't just think of an ebook or a book. Think of presentations, think of how-to manuals, think of motivational books if you have to. Think about different things you can put together within YouTube. YouTube is a great, you can put a 1 to 3 minute video, in my opinion, and you can talk about anything, and you can start getting traffic and different people coming to it. And then of course I use Instagram. It's free, and boy, does it get traffic. I'm amazed how Instagram gets traffic. So there's just some simple ideas out there. If you're really going heavy duty on the traffic, of course, there's other methods like, emails work. Email marketing does work. You got to get the list and all that stuff. And a lot of you guys probably don't know how to do that. And a lot of you do know how to do that, and it works. So email marketing's in there too. Google Ads works wonderful. The only thing about Google is that you got to be very careful and delicate. When you start doing it, make sure you ask some questions or go online and really dig in, because Google's finicky. If you don't keep up with their ads, sometimes they do some strange stuff within your accounts, but there's a lot of money to be made. I work with teams that are doing phenomenal on Google. I mean, using Google Ads and then putting their videos out there and everything else. they're doing unbelievable. They're making 7 figures every year, some of these guys, and a lot of them are, making 5 figures, high 5 figures and high 6 figures. So there's a lot of money to be made in what we're doing here. And I think Sqribble is probably the best product that I've seen for creating projects and different things that we have out there. It really is a phenomenal tool. It's only 6:06 after the hour. We're going to give it just a few more minutes, probably another 1 or 2 minutes, and then we'll get started here. But welcome, everybody. Do I have any questions here? I'm sure I do, but it's hard. Hey, Tracy, Paula, I see, and a lot of other people coming aboard here. Hey, Jim. Pleasure. And Peg, welcome. See, I can't get to everybody. I'm sorry. I don't always scroll down as far as I possibly can. And I do appreciate a lot of you people that are in other parts of the world. It's after midnight. Gotta love you guys. My God, the dedication here. But it's worth it. It truly is worth it. And you need to dig hard. And I know a lot of you are working alone. Of course you are. I mean, most of us are. And you're working in different parts of the country and you're so close to doing it and making it, but you just need that fix that can push you over the top. And that's what we're here for, to help you out to get to that next fix. One thing that I'm really good at in when I do business is that I pretty much know when to go after a business or what to put into the, to finish it off a presentation, or kind of, I find their weak points, basically. And most companies have them. Most companies have weak points because they don't know what they're doing. 99% of the companies out there don't have a YouTube presence. They don't have a Gmail account. They don't have simple stuff that you and I can set up in less than 10 to 15 minutes for the company. Also with Presenter and with Sqribble, we can do the PDFs, the books, and everything else. And with Presenter, it kind of finishes it off. It really does. And then, of course, I talk about Snagit. Snagit is a tool you gotta have. You gotta have a tool similar to Snagit. And someone asked the question about Snagit, and we'll get into that in here in just a second. So officially, we're going to start the call right now. I'm just kind of jabbering here, but I'm going to come back. Like I said, welcome. This is the Sqribble call. This is Kevin. And tonight we're going to kind of go over a lot of different things here. Here's a few questions people are asking me here. And the first one does start with Snagit. And they're asking me, they're cutting pictures. They're going to Alexia Art and use the inside of the books. Kevin told us using Pixabay is allowed. It is allowed if you're using the you don't have to pay for the images if it's allowed. It says download for free. Now there is other sites out there that you do have to pay for the photos, but Pixabay has tons. You put in the search function, say you're looking for a bird, you're looking for a surfboard, you're looking for pine trees, you'll find it. You'll find it on Pixabay. I love it. So you can grab your images there. The reason I tell you gotta have something like Snagit is you can go capture a picture. The problem is if you go to any pictures, you guys can right click it and then say save as. It'll save it on your computer. The only problem is the picture is going to be too big or not the right size. It's not formatted for your books that you're writing here. Where you go in with Snagit, you can crop it. You can take the picture and you can, you see, a man and an elephant. You can take the man out and just grab the elephant. That's why I like capture software like Snagit. It's amazing. Another thing you can do is you can go to YouTube. This is legal. You can grab snippets of videos. I think it's under like 20 seconds or something like that, but you actually can. You actually can do that. And, commercially, it's okay. You can grab them, put them into your own video and do that. Also, if you want to grab a video completely from YouTube and put it on your website, that is legal. And the reason is you're advertising the people. You're advertising the person's URL, which helps them. So why wouldn't they want it, on your pages? And I tell you, I do that sometimes too. I'm working with a company now, and I'll go out and grab a YouTube video in its entirety, maybe 5, 8, 10 minutes, and put it on some sites that I'm working for people with, and it works. Because, why do the heavy lifting if some people have already done it? Like there was a company we were doing a comparable. And the first thing I did is I went onto Google or YouTube. I punched it in. Sure enough, it pulled up, showed the comparable, why this product was better than this product. And sure enough, I put the video out there and it helped. It helped a heck of a lot. I didn't have to shoot the video. The person had already done all the legwork, the testing and the blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, it looked wonderful. So you can do things like that. So think outside the box. And the more you do, the more you're going to make. You actually will. I think there's a huge, huge market in writing stuff that shows people how to do things. That is one of the biggest markets ever. Is communication and is training and motivation and showing people how to do this and how to do that. It's probably one of the biggest sellers for content online is how to. It definitely is. It definitely shows people how to do different things. Let me see, check each license. Okay, someone was just saying, of course, on the Pixabay, that's Trace, thank you, Trace, was saying on the Pixabay, look if it's commercial sale, check out each license on each picture. Yeah, you need to do that when you're in Pixabay. But if it says download for free, you can use it, in my understanding. And I would just go for it, no problem at all. And I'm getting someone saying, Azul is hello in your language. Hey, Moses, thank you. Teaching us a new word. Azul is hello. So when I do the next call, I'm going to try to remember Azul, everybody, which means hello from Moses. And Moses, let me know what country you're from. I mean, silly me, I should know, but I don't. But I appreciate that. And I know Kashiki Shiki, I think, is in Norway. I know that. Edine, and you're way up in the great white north also. So, and good evening to you guys too. Everybody saying good evening. I appreciate it. And okay, I'm going to get back to this email right here. Somebody was asking if we could do 2 languages inside the audiobook. So let me just pull this right here. We have an audiobook here. We have Talkable. Now, I think you can use 1 language per page. I'm not sure. That's a good question. I've never tried that. I don't know if anybody else has either. But if you can use, like French and English or, Swiss, German, whatever, some of the pronunciations are different. They're asking if we can do that. Now, that's a great question. I would love to answer that. I would imagine, yes, you should be able to go in there and do audio. But I think what you're going to have to do is take different MP3 bytes. Now, remember, an audio is an MP3, a video, which is an MP4, is audio video. It's both, where an MP3 is just audio. So write that down, or just know that that's what, Talkable is an MP3, which gives you the different languages, and it also gives you different people from around the world that can speak it for you. I love it. I love Talkable. I should be using it a lot more. So I'm going to find that out, and I'm going to shoot that off to, or see if I can just do it. See if I can do, even though I won't understand the language, I'll see if I can get it to work on a page. That would be wonderful, wonderful. Oh, we're getting a lot more people coming in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm just trying to extend everything here. I've got several screens going on here. Okay, let me see. Creating an ebook. Do I need to, okay, someone's asking here, do I need to rewrite the content from a customer's website before putting these inside the ebook? Do I need to rewrite the content or necessarily to rewrite the title? Now, I'm not quite understanding exactly what you're saying here. Do I, from the customer's websites before? You know what? I'm going to send you an email. This came in from an email, so I'm going to send back and see if I can contact this person directly on some of the things I don't understand. Points out of the websites inside the, okay, someone's saying here, for me, creating an ebook for a business or company, the most important is the story and the people of the teams. Okay, so, that's very true. When you're creating an ebook for a business, it is the people and it is the teams. But you do, now remember, when I made my $2,700 ebook, let me show you guys what I did and what, right here. You guys are looking at it right here. The owners and the team was the big factor. That's what launched it. That was phase 1. Phase 2 was basically digging into their equipment or what they were marketing or what they were selling. If they're selling groceries, or they're selling 3D equipment, or they're selling, gardening equipment, whatever it is, you do want to focus on the owners and the team from the very get-go. Take the pictures. This is how you win. Really is visuals with the people. You show the owners, you show the employees, and pretty much they're going to grab it from you. They're going to buy your ebook. If you're saying, hey, I want to do a cover for your company, I want to put you online, I want people to understand who you are. It's kind of like when you go to a website and you see about, and then it goes to the about. But our about is on steroids, and let me tell you why. We're about, and then the next phase, about this and about that and about this. So about usually means about the owners and about the company, blah, blah, blah. But like the way, and this is a good thing, the about that I did, this is one huge about, how I made 2,700 within days within Sqribble. Now, for the new people here, what I did was I spoke about the owners and the employees, did a picture of them right on the front cover, and then I scrolled down a little bit and dug right into the equipment and the products that they were selling. And I took a lot of pictures and then did big print because people love to visualize. Just remember, a lot of people don't read. They're not as smart as you. You guys are very, very smart because you're here with Sqribble, but just remember 90% of the people out there can barely read. No, I'm kidding. They can, but you do need to do a lot of visuals and they'll understand that. So like when I did this, I did a lot of visuals, tons of pictures, and then I just wrote a little bit about each I knew about the product, so I wrote it and did it. And like I said, within 2 days after getting Sqribble, I spoke to the company. And I mentioned it, and they said, yeah, we'd like to look at something, what you're doing. They were just kind of giving me, yeah, right. On the 4th day, I pretty much showed them something that I did. I did 2 or 3 pages, and I put some watermarks on it so they couldn't take it. And then sure enough, they said, yeah, we love it. We're going to go for it. How much is it? I said I was going to say $3,000. I said 2,700. And sure enough, they said, yeah, we love it. And I'm actually going to go back to another company right now, and I'm doing another book, and I'm going to ask for 3,500. And I think I'll get it because I think I have enough content and information now to pull it off. It's going to be a video, and then I'm also going to just talk about some of the stuff that they're marketing and they're selling. And I think I can pull it off because I've done a lot of research. And what I'm doing is I'm using other people's information, condensing it with my own voice on the screens that I put pictures on. So I'm going to kind of dictate what some of the equipment is. Like, hey, this is Kevin, and this equipment it makes ice cream cones, and the ice cream cone goes into this oven, and it cooks it, and blah, 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 whatever. I'm going to explain it in detail. Then I'm going to do a little video on it with Snagit because I can capture something from YouTube, or some of the tools that I have, I can create videos on the fly. I can create videos where they're already pre-done, and I can use Snagit to edit it. I don't know if you guys know this, but if I take a minute video on YouTube, I can edit it and piece things together with ease with Snagit. So I can take a minute video and make it a 32-second video, and then I could add a snippet of another video in the same video, and it will go together. It'll go together really nice. Remember, when you're doing videos and you put words behind it or you're putting music, it seems to flow. Even though you break it up, it will flow nice. And if you guys want to learn some of that stuff, we can do that as we're getting into Sqribble, because I am doing another big project within Sqribble, and my next book I am going to shoot for $3,500. So I want this book to be how I made 3,500, within so many days. And I've been working on it. I just haven't really launched it yet, and now I think I have enough content to do it. So it's going to take me probably a couple days at least, but I've been working on this, and it's a mixture of several things that I've done in the past. So, and that's what I think you guys need to do. You need to find some of these companies that are doing things. There's millions of them, and we need to just dig in, find kind of their soft spot. And this is what I'm finding out. A lot of companies out there are trying to market their products and their services, and this is something new, I think, but they're using the Google ads, and they're using the emails and all that stuff. But what if you could do an ad yourself on a product on YouTube, and you went out there and you started doing it, and then say, hey, company, do you want to use this? And you do something really nice. You guys think it takes a lot? It doesn't. The products and the tools that we have, Sqribble is beautiful. The flip books and the different videos. If you have Presenter 2, we can mix them together and make some of the coolest stuff you guys can possibly imagine. Now, when I make the new $3,500 book. I don't know if they're going to take it or not, but I'm pushing for it. I believe they will. I believe they will. So as I build it, I'm going to record what I'm doing. I'm going to do a training as I'm building the book, so you guys can kind of see my layout and how I'm doing it. You can see the method to my madness, and it actually does work very, very well as we go forward. Let me see now. Somebody's asking, are you able to demonstrate? Okay. I will be able to demonstrate some of the stuff that we're doing. Let me do something right now, though, a question that someone's asking. I'm just going to jump into a book here real quick. So as I'm talking here, anybody have a question on getting started on their book, or does anybody want to do a how-to book for a company? Is anybody doing that? Or are you writing a story? Let me know kind of what you guys are doing, if there's anything I can do to help out. Remember, for the new people here, we have some great, great members here that help me out, help you out. So when I get stuck, of course, I'm going to go to them. And that's the way it should be. And say, hey, can you help me out here? You're much better than me on this subject. And that's what we all do. Okay, family tree. Now that's a cool one. That's a great idea. That is a great idea, to do a family tree within Sqribble. Oh man, let me ask this question, and I'll ask this right to you, Moses. Do you have all your information, pictures, and the content to put into the family tree? Or are you still digging in, or do you got most of it? Go ahead and answer that if you possibly can, because someone just gave us the idea. Okay, you've started it. Okay, you've started it already, and you've got pictures. Okay, let's just put it this way. You started it in Word. You need to pull it from Word, because Word is boring. Microsoft hasn't changed their crap in 20 years, but everybody uses Word. I'm one of those non-Word guys. No, I'm kidding. Word to me is good because it holds the links. It's HTML. So you can copy pictures. That's what HTML basically means. You can take the color over, and the coding will allow you to take links and the pictures and all that good stuff. So it's cool. It is cool. But if you really want to go to a higher level, it's Sqribble or the presenter system. And it really is something that you need to do. Okay, you're gathering all the information on the family and all that stuff. Okay, now this is something I would even have fun with. So great idea, Moses. I think you could really do something here, and then you could actually show people how to structure it. Because from Word to, say, Sqribble, you're going to go way further being able to use Sqribble than you would. I mean, look at the pages here on Sqribble compared to Word. The pages are beautiful. You can add content, the back. So I think it's a great idea. We just got to find the right template for you, Moses, as we go forward. And Moses, if you want to do this, if you want to grab some more information and get a few things going, and if you don't mind, I don't know if you do or not, you can let me know. Remember this email address, and I'll try to see if I can send it to everybody right now. Just hang on a second. I'm going to send to all. Let me see. Something's messing me up here. Okay, I'm going to put in, hang on. Let me put this together. I'm almost done. And hang on a sec. I'm going to send that. Did everybody get that? I hope you guys did. sqribblebookteam@gmail.com. Send me some information here. You guys if you guys really want to get out there and start, doing some stuff and having some help, send it on. Send it on to the Sqribble book team. I tell you, Lynn's the first one to hit it, and then she reminds me to go over there. And I got to get over there more often, but I love some of the stuff. So if you want to do this on one of the trainings too, Moses, if you've got something you want to run with it, let me know, because what we could do is set it up before a meeting and get some pages done on it, get some format to get you kick-started and blow this thing out of the water, because this is a sensational idea. Now, when you do your family tree, you could actually put a picture and put a voice behind it. You could put different things like, hey, this is my Aunt Beth, and this is my Uncle Bill, and whatever. You could do some cool stuff that no one's really done, which would be kind of cool. And then you could save that and document it, and it would be different. It wouldn't just be a boring book that shows the hierarchy of your family tree. It would show stuff where people are talking. Wouldn't it be cool if you could get a voice of each member of your family? Hey, this is Aunt Sally. Hey, this is Uncle Bill. I'm glad to be here as part of the family tree. And if they only said that, and you put a little audio behind every picture, wouldn't that be cool? I don't know if people have done that yet or not, but think outside the box and let's go for it to the next level. So as people click and being able, it'd be kind of like it would just be so interactive. Let's put it that way. I wish that I had a family tree from my family that goes years and years back. I mean, my grandmother's been passed away for many, many, many years, longer than I can remember, but it would be very cool if I had her on an audio, family tree ebook. I think it would be very cool because if you could put pictures together, 30, 40, 50 pictures, and you have even just little pictures and you click on it and have the voice, I think that would be cool. And then you could do a little bio on them. Hey, this is so-and-so and this is so-and-so, how the tree goes. The trees are pretty cool. And maybe they do that. I mean, let me ask you, Moses, real quick. Have you seen, Moses, any of these family trees do audios and videos behind the pictures? Do you know? Have you seen anything like that yet? They probably already have it. I'm just guessing here. Okay, one person says yes and one person says no. Moses, you said no, but Eddie and you said yes. So that's kind of cool. So when you're creating a book like this, and this is what I'm talking to you all about, when you're creating a book, be different. Sometimes I look at the stuff that I'm doing and I'm going, don't be stupid, Kevin. What are you doing? You need to pick it up a notch. This is boring, mundane. Everybody else has done it. So, twist it up and say things people don't like to hear. And people, after a while, you're going to realize they really do like to hear it. I think people are too calm some days. And I'm not that crazy. I'm not one to say, doing all the cuss words under the sun. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you have to push the envelope and say things what people really want to hear. I think sometimes people are too mundane and too quiet, and you just got to push it out there. Do it in a nice way. That's a better way to say it. So, Moses, if you want to try that and you want to put some things together in Word and you want to put a file together and send it to the Sqribble book team at Gmail, we can do it. Yeah, don't be passive. Perfect word, Lynn. Thank you. Don't be passive. That's the word for tonight. Don't be passive. Be a killer with the ebooks. Just get them out there and really launch it. I see a lot of people, and I know a lot of trainers, and I know I've met a lot of people throughout my era. Some very, very famous, very famous. I've had good friends that are similar to Tony Robbins. Really, I have. And in the early days, we used to talk all the time, and it was a lot of fun. And, in those days, everybody was just kicking in and starting out. And this was, 20 years back when some of these trainers and some of these guys were just like everybody else. Some of them now are multi-millionaires doing very well. And I still talk to a few of them, which is really great. But it's because they took it to the next level. And I've met hundreds and hundreds of trainers, but out of those hundreds and hundreds of trainers, a dozen went out and really did it big time. And they did it because they didn't stop. They just kept going forward and kept pushing the envelope and kept racing through. And sure enough, they have big gigs around the world, around the country, and they're doing so very well. So a lot of you that are here tonight and you're trying to write an ebook, greatness comes from any one of us. You have to just know you're great. Know you can do it, and no one can compete with you. Think that way. Do not, what you have done yesterday, throw it away. Just think of where you are today and run with it. Don't ever think of competition. That'll kill you. Don't ever think of that. Just think of yourself when you're writing and go forward. Okay, question for tonight. Let me look. Someone was asking that when let's look at this. Someone said that they had something, they were copying something here, and it was in green. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in green. Okay, let's put it in green. Okay, then they said they tried to copy a link to it. So I'm going to highlight it again. Watch what I'm doing, you guys. I'm doing this for all of you that don't know. Now I'm copying it here. I go up here to the WYSIWYG, to the white one, and insert link. First thing I'm going to do is do https://. You don't have to put www anymore. And then I'm just going to put google.com. You can do that. I think that'll work. Okay, a target, I can say new window, or I can say none. Title, I'm just going to put Google. I'm just doing an example here. Now let's say, okay, now watch what happens to the copy and paste. This color green should change. I know that. It usually does. And it did. And that's what the person was asking. It turns violet. Okay, have inserted the links. This is the question right here. I'm going to bring it over. They said, have inserted the links, these violet words. My chosen color was green. But after clicking these links, they changed inside to violet. Okay, now let's try this. Let's see if this works. Let's go back to it. Let's highlight it. Let's see if we can turn it green. Now, and this is what funky links do sometimes. Let's change it to a different green. Let's see if that works. It did. Okay, so that answers your question. It did turn to violet, but go back over it. You have to highlight it. Drag your mouse over it, left click and drag it. And let's see if we can get the other color, the green we started with. And we did. So now this is a clickable link. And if we go outside here and we publish the PDF and we come here, our little mouse would turn into like a hand. You guys know that. And see the underline? The underline means it's a link. It's a link. And to prove it, all I got to do is just sit here and then go up. Let me see. Yeah, go up here. Let me see. Okay, that's okay. Dummies, www. Okay, hang on. I got to highlight the right one. Okay, I'll highlight that. Go there. And there's my Google link. So someone was asking, you know, because when they did the link, like right here, here's one right here I never changed. I must have had this a different color, but you see it turns violet within Sqribble. So if I want to unchange that, just highlight it and then go up here, of course, you guys, and let's just do a solid red. Let me see. And there you go. And it has an underline which tells you there's a link on it. Now watch what happens if I go up here. See the line? If I go up here, I want you guys to know this part of the tool. The link is there. Now to break the link, for any of you that don't know this, this is break your link. It says remove link. So let's just bap it. Okay. Now there's no underline when I click on it. If I go back to it now, copy it, and then I want to see if there's a link, there should be nothing. No, it wiped it out. So just those are two nice little tools. So wherever you are, you can say copy and paste, click here. So if you don't know the insert edit link, it's right there. So you just click on it, always put in your HTTPS or copy the link you want to go to. So any one of these words, you can have people in a PDF click on it and they'll go to another page. When they're online, they can go to another page and it'll carry over. So that was great. We finished that one. So the person was asking changes to violet. We figured that one out and that one works pretty easy. Okay, the next question. The person was asking, can I buy a one-time payment of the Snagit tool you mentioned? Yes, you can, but it's a little confusing. And let me just show you guys something real quick. And I'm going to pull it over here. I've been using Snagit for over 10 years, you guys. I'm not trying to sell it. I could care less. But if you really want to succeed, there's a lot of tools out there. And I'm sure there's some that are just as good as Snagit, or if not better. I have just used Snagit for so many years, and I love this puppy. Without a doubt, this is my #1 tool for Sqribble and Presenter that I use. And it's $62 one-time fee. It confuses you here. And the person asks, you know, I didn't understand it. There's a lot of different Snagits. They say benefits of a Snagit maintenance, $12.60 a year. All that does, and you don't take it. It just 2023. It'll automatically give you 2023 instead of 2022 for $12 a year extra. But when you buy it, you can just say no. First year, they're going to give you whatever what you're doing. But TechSmith is great. This is the company. You can call them directly, and they actually pick up the phone, which is amazing because who picks up the phone anymore on customer service? I remember Amazon. I go so far back. You could talk to people, and they would help you left and right. Now, there's no way. You can't even get through to Amazon. They don't listen to anybody at all. But so the answer to this is you can buy it one-time fee and you can add it to your cart and you are going to get this. Just make sure you don't do the renewal. You don't need to. I just renewed mine this year and I had Snagit 5, which is probably 2000, 2010. I had it that long and it worked great. The only reason I had to buy the new one is my audio was messing up, or it wasn't as good in 2008 as it is now, and it cleaned everything up. And I was told this because I was doing a lot of trainings and videos for Sqribble and Adil and the team and all that stuff. And Adil told me, God, the audio sounds terrible, Kevin. What are you doing? And I thought, oh man. And I went through it and it was my Snagit. It was my Snagit. So I had to order it. I'm not going to go buy a new one for probably another 10 years. And I don't need to upgrade every year. And this thing does so much. It'll do all your videos. It'll do your editing. It'll do your pictures. You can do arrows and say, go here. And you can do, so it does everything. But it is just one of those tools you need for your everything else. You can doctor up anything that you're doing and make it look pretty, or at least pull your information in, like pictures and videos that you can put into Sqribble and put in, everything else. Snagit does not do anything for you if you don't have a system like Sqribble or Presenter. I keep mentioning both of them because I use them both a lot. And I know I'm just training on Sqribble, but I do mention Presenter. If you don't have it, go look at Presenter too. I mean, both these tools, you're unstoppable. You really are an unstoppable force with these. So this answers this. If you go to it and you're confused, it renews at $12.60 a year. Just make sure you don't renew it. You don't have to. Everybody says that. And a word of wisdom here. When you buy software that keeps renewing every year, be careful. There is some software that I have gotten that it does renew, but it's so off the wall that you do need it. It is it's like audio video tools that, they're cheap. They may be like $200 a year, but they're critical. They really do work well where you need them. But most of them for just, functionality tools, you don't pay the monthly, like Google, like Microsoft and Adobe and all these idiots now charge you monthly. And if you're young and you don't know this, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they charged you one time. And I still have licenses for a lot of their software that they have, but now they charge you the monthly. They're ripping you off and they suck. And I got to tell you, when you look at Microsoft and you look at PowerPoint and all that stuff, you don't need it. You now have Sqribble and like Presenter, I keep saying, which does actually, in my opinion, much, much more at a better price. What happened to them is, and I know this because I work with a lot of programmers and I've done it, written the code for many, many years. They don't ever rewrite it. They just add more code to it and keep the archaic system held together by bubblegum and glue. And all they do is keep upgrading and making more money than God because they're so huge. They keep advertising it bigger, badder than everybody else. And people don't know any better. But don't buy that crap. Buy stuff like Sqribble and Presenter because it does way more and it's better. I mean, the templates and the images and the libraries that we get, it's unbelievable. You pay, the one-time fees for these systems and they go on and on forever. So make sure you guys are very, very careful in buying your tools. You don't need to have everything under the sun. Like I said, you have Sqribble. Presenter, I would certainly do. Get a capture software, be it Snagit or something else. Whatever you guys, you need that. You gotta have it, really, if you really want to go to the next level. So hopefully that answers your question who was asking that. I hope that helps. Okay, someone just asked the question. Let me see. Does it work on a phone or a PC? Good question. I just use it on a PC. Oh, to use it, we're going to have to check that and see. I've never really used Snagit on a phone. I'm kind of an old timer when it comes to, I use it, on 2 screens and I go with it. I'm sure you could. I mean, they're so advanced. TechSmith has been around forever. If you've ever heard of Camtasia and some of these other systems out there, TechSmith is the ones who created that. They created a whole bunch of tools. These guys are smart and they keep updating their stuff to make it better and better. They're not like some of these companies that just keep adding, stupid things to it and then charge you twice as much each year or charge you the monthly. Okay, let me see what else they have here. Can we record video and show? Can we record video? Show it? Yes, you can. And that's one of the benefits. That's a great question, you guys. When you're doing, and this is, let me come back. That's a huge question. Okay, back to Snagit again. You can take this, and I do a picture in a picture sometimes. Like I'll record the screen of Sqribble. I did a big training and I did my book and I have 10 pages to it, but I can actually put Snagit in the frame, and I can put my little picture down here, a little video, a live video of myself saying, "Hey, this is Kevin, look at me." And then I can talk about what's on the page. And as I scroll down, my picture stays there and I say, "Look at the reviews. Aren't these great?" Then I go down here, good productivity. I can keep talking about it. It's a training as I go forward, and Snagit records the whole thing for you beautifully. And then if you screw up or if you mess up and you spent like 10 minutes, you go, "Oh my God, do I have to do it over?" No, keep running, keep talking. Even if you screwed up 30 seconds a minute, it doesn't matter. Just keep talking. Sometimes pause when you're doing your videos. Give yourself some pauses. Like if you say something, go, helps greatly with scientific graphics. Pause. And the reason is when you screw up, you have a place to go back to. Snagit is so cool. You can just go in there, take this little bar with your mouse, and you can go, boop, you can just drag it and say, cut. And it will cut out that 30 seconds in just a minuscule of a moment. It is so fantastic. That's why I'm saying, great question too, because when you do live videos of yourself, so, and this is a big thing. And Moses, I really appreciate you bringing this up. This is really cool. A great question, because I forgot to even mention this, you guys, as we went forward. Hang on one second. I'm trying to get all this stuff. My pictures are going crazy here. So as we're working with Snagit, and I'm doing like, right here, let me do this. Like right here, I am talking about, I've done this before on the book of armor. And during live meetings, I'll talk. And then, of course, it's like Snagit. It's a recording in itself because we're on a webinar and I'm talking and I'm pointing here and I'm pointing there and I'm scrolling up. Snagit will do this for you in any format that you need. And then you can take this. The cool thing about this is, too, the webinar just records it and it's a static video, meaning it records the whole thing. It's, from minute 1 to minute 60. And then you put it on YouTube and it's a video for the company. Now, if you're doing your own stuff and you made a book like I did here, you can kind of pause and stop. You don't have to worry about the webinar. And then you can, if you have any problems, you can pause it. You can pause it as you're doing your video, pause and then go back. And it's easy to edit. And then you can talk about it. You can do your own little cool videos. The trainings are fantastic. So Snagit is a big deal with Sqribble and Presenter, of course, going forward. And I would tell you, this is one thing that I use all the time, and I never really mentioned it much to you guys. I do a lot of live videos, and then I'll put them out there. And people like seeing your smiling little face down here as you're talking a lot. It gets personal. Get as personal as you can, and be as nice as you can. And people buy you. They don't always buy your content, but if they love you, your content can be crap sometimes. But if they love you, they're going to buy everything you have. I know that sounds crazy. You got to have, they only may buy your first or second book if you're not good at something. But believe me, if you're good at both, they're going to continue to come back. People love having people that they understand they can relate to and just go on and go forward. So once again, great question. That was a great one that people asked. Okay, here's another one. Another question. Graphics is another great product to create AI created images for your ebooks. Okay, it is so much easier than looking images up. Yeah, there is some tools out there, and Lynn just brought this up, that already have the graphics in it and other great products, and it's an AI created for images for your ebooks. So see, they're coming out with such cool stuff nowadays. And something like that, you may not even need to use Snagit, but no, you do. It'll do graphics and things like that, but I don't know if it'll do all the videos for you live and different things too. So there's so many cool tools. When I first started, you guys, there was nothing. Anything we wanted, we had to write, and it was hard. And boy, when we finished something after a couple of weeks or a month, we thought it was the best thing ever. We didn't have drop and drag when we first started, not even close. We had to have different boxes placed in here, and we couldn't drag them. We couldn't touch them. They stayed there. And then we could fill the box up and do that. And we had one of the first systems out there. It was called Site Design SEO, and we did very well. We actually made seven figures with it year after year. We did very well. This was years ago. It was over 10 years. And we did very well with it. But nowadays, the software blows it out of the water. It's 1,000 times better than what we had back then. And for a lot of you that know this, you can go and build some of this stuff because like we have, I mean, why would you try to do the software if you already have a system like this? Like Adil spent a fortune to build Sqribble and his other programs out there. And he always seems to find the right ones that work. He really does. The guy's got a gift. I've got to hand it to him. He really knows his stuff. And am I jealous? Hell yes. I wish I could have had all this stuff back in the time. But I'm not jealous in that point. I'm very proud of him because he's a young man and he has done well with choosing the right formats and the right stuff. There's a lot of programs out there I don't even look at. I get them every day. I look at probably 95% of them and I look at them for about a minute and just throw them away. But then whenever a deal brings something up, I always look at it. And usually it's like, wow, that is some good stuff. So we're at the right place and we got a great team here as we're all going forward. Does anybody have any questions on some of the stuff that they're also doing? Or if anybody's on a roadblock and they're stuck with something, please let us know right now. Whatever we can probably do to help you guys out. And remember, if you need some help, send us something to sqribblebookteam@gmail.com. I would love, Moses, to do your tree. If you want to do it and you want to send some stuff there, I'll grab it, start making an ebook out of it, and just give it a format or do whatever we can to help you out. It's your baby. We can do whatever we can to push you forward and get you to the next level. Even if we could do 1 to 2 pages, throw some pictures up there, try to get some audios behind it, do whatever, it would be great. I think it would be a cool idea for your own self if you had a tree where you could get as many people saying at least a couple words like, hey, this is auntie, this is your uncle, this is mom, this is dad. I'm just doing this to say hello. And then 30, 40, 50 years later, your kids have this book and they're going to go, wow, this is so cool. Because in today, it's not that cool because you're doing it today. But time has a moment of pleasure when you can go back to, many years and you see loved ones that may not be around anymore. So really think, toward the future a lot. Don't, you can't go back, but we're here today and you can take things today and then go, into the future, you're going to still have them. So really think, hard here. I keep going back to, as I'm making my books, like I made this book of armor. I just made this because instead of training every single week, repetitious over and over again, I wanted to show you guys how you could do certain things within the system, use the editing tools and all that stuff. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a training. We already did this. We did a training on this and it's in the book here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one with the book. And then I'm going to throw the video up onto, it's going to be one of our training sessions. And then people can go back to it. And I'll name it something like, solid training for Sqribble or whatever it might be, just to help you guys out as we go forward. I really think it's wise that you guys send me what you have because some of the best stuff that we can do is actually taking somebody else's project and then working on it together. To me, I think that is some of the best training because when you're hands-on, we're doing things we wouldn't normally do because a lot of times us as trainers will do things that are sometimes they're very technical and sophisticated and we all think, oh, everybody will know this when not a damn person knows what I'm doing because sometimes I overthink it or I'm going too fast or whatever. But when we do hands-on stuff for you or with you, it makes a difference. So I think it's really wise and I love that. I love that. I love to be able to take something because as I'm doing it, I make mistakes. I find out what the mistake is. I overcome it, go forward. And then we all kind of roll together and it makes it much better as we're all doing these projects going forward. So it really is a total training on steroids once we do it. Okay, and let me see. Okay, and when you guys are doing research, on a niche, this is really important. You guys want to dig in and you want to find your niche. Like if you're doing gardening, put in, how to garden online, and then dig deeper. Try to find a niche and find out exactly, um, what is a good niche. A good way to find out too, if you guys want to, go to YouTube and put in keywords into the search bar, like gardening, or you're saying 3D printing, which I always do because I'm in that business quite a bit, or training, or something. Just put that in, and you guys are going to find a niche. You're going to find a niche that helps you out. You can find a niche within a niche. And what I mean by that is, if you're doing restaurants, or you're doing a how-to book on restaurants, or you're doing how to cook, or how to do Cajun food in the South, or how to do English food, or how to do, how to do food from Europe, Norwegian food, which I know all too well. You need to really dig into the niche and know what you're talking about. But I really think it's wise that, and this is something I thought of tonight. If you guys are doing your books, let's see what we can do to put Talkable into the realm of your books. I think it's very important. Everybody likes to read, but if you could say click here, and you got some guy from Europe talking to you about cooking crepes, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I think we really need to lift the bar up, meaning that we really need to lift up our, our expertise, and take it to the next level. I think people love to hear audio, and I think they love the visual. So just think that way, you guys. Don't just write a book with pictures and content. Try to throw some audio in there. See what you guys can do with some of the audio, because the future's coming. And do you think books are just going to be read? I think, of course, when you open a page, it's going to be like Harry Potter, and the images are going to be moving, and stuff's going to be going, and it's going to be talking to you and all that good stuff. I mean, none of us know exactly what's going to happen in the next 20 or 30 years, but we have a good idea. And we need to be the first ones kind of going forward with some of the stuff that we're doing. And never stop. That's all I can say. Just recently, I've worked with another team for a project, and these guys that I'm working with, and gals actually, are much better than me in this certain project that we were doing. And I was so happy when they came in. It's a project of selling a product, and they came in and they helped with the advertising and different things that we're doing. And of course, I came in with my expertise, and all three of us, there was three of us working together full time and another two part time. And we actually were able to lift the product sales by triple in the last 30 days for a company that I was working with. I did some work for them, and then they brought in a team. They asked if I could come back and help them out a little bit. Sure enough, I did. And it's just some consulting work that I did, but it worked. So if you need some help, bring someone who's better than you at certain aspects of what you're doing. Like with the book here and everything else, we can figure it out for you. Anything that you need, if you have a question, ask us. If you get stuck and you're saying, I don't know how to start, send us an email. It won't go anywhere but Lynn and I, and we'll get back to you and we'll help you out. And if you don't want us to mention you online or whatever, we can help you. I mean, that's the whole aspect of this whole training here, is to get you kicked in and started. You guys really need some help. Please, I mean, we are here. I don't care if we get 50 emails saying help. Just do it. And then we can give you some ideas on to get started and go from there. And don't be afraid to bring your book to the meeting. We can help you out right here. A lot of people do it. They come to me, and then if I can't figure it out, we have a lot of people on here that I ask a lot of favors from, a lot of good writers that are in the meeting tonight. Very good writers, actually, that phenomenal, literally phenomenal. And I got to bring back, Lynn's done a great job. Tracy's a professional. She truly is a professional, and she's done a really, really good job with what she's done with some of her books, some of her stuff that she's researched for stories around Los Angeles. Great story for a lot of you new people that didn't see some of the hot seats. We call them hot seats. They're not really hot seats. A person will bring in their ebook, their book, and they'll show us what they've done. And we've had some that just blow us out of the water, that are so good. We can't critique it because they've done something so better than what I could do. All I'm doing is sitting here saying, wow, that is really good. And that's the way it should be. I love it when we get stuff that really helps out. Like Lynn has helped with the ghost book for the last several months. She has done so much of it. And a lot of the stuff that Lynn has set up is truly genius. She has and she only did it because she had to. She stair stepped things like how to do this. And then she didn't know what the next step was because none of us knew what we were doing. And we started the collaboration. Then all of a sudden Lynn said, oh, wow, we need this. And then she added this. And then again, we needed this. That's how your ebook is going to be created also. Start writing. And this is how the world is created. This is how the tree grows and the grass grows and the lake comes together and the blue, ocean and all that stuff. It comes really from your mind thinking of it. And you can't think of it all at one time. So start. All I can say is start, and then the next page will begin. Just start, and then the next page will begin, and the next, and you guys will do better and better going forward. I always know, and I've known this for a long time, I'm not that smart. But what I am good at is persistence. And you get much more out of something just by keeping up with it, by continuing. And after a while, you have 10 pages and you go back and you edit those 10 pages and then you go, wow, I'm not so dumb. I actually did it. This is kind of cool. And then you sell it and then you make, 5, 10, 15 grand. And, the rest is history here. And I've done very well here. I think some of the next levels you guys need to do too is you guys can also make a book and sell a product. You can make an ebook here within Sqribble and sell a product. If that's what you want to do, wonderful. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. But I'm actually doing some things like that now. And I can get into that and show you guys. I'm actually testing some things right now. I'm almost ready to go. I'm going to put them online. I'm going to see how they market, how they sell, and I'm going to do a step-by-step with that as I go forward. I know they'll sell. It's just a matter of getting to finding the right people that are going to buy certain things that you're doing. So, I'm doing so many different things at once, but in today's world, you have to, and then all of a sudden something will hit. Today, I met two guys who were working online, and they are 3D printers. I go back to the 3D printing thing. 3D printing is taking over the world. Anybody can buy a $200 printer, blah, blah, blah. They can. These two guys have 12 printers and they paid $200 a piece for these printers. And I know exactly what they bought and they did it. They made an object for UPS trucks. Imagine those big box trucks. They made an object, and I'm not going to tell what they're doing. I never do that. But they made an object and they're selling 300 of them a month at $35 a piece. And I asked them, how did you get started? They go, it was a fluke. We never advertised. We never did anything. We talked to someone in the U.S. Post Office who was working there, and they said, man, we need something here within our trucks. We need this. Sure enough, they were able to design. It's a really silly little design. Anybody could do it. Anybody can do it. And to get a design done is cheap. It's nothing. Anyway, they did it, and the rest is history. In the last year, they are doing. I think they're going through like 100 spools of filament a month, which doesn't mean much to you guys who don't know what a spool is, but it's a roll of plastic that they use for the 3D printers. They go through 100 of them a month. They make 3 per roll. That's 300 units times 35. Do the math. That's 10 grand. So that's just one instant. But I'm meeting a lot of people that are doing this kind of stuff. And when I went to their website or their content, it was stupid. They had nothing. Can you imagine if they got into Sqribble and they did some of this stuff and they started doing their presentations and everything else? I know they would do 10 times better. Instead of making 10 grand a month, they'd be making 50 grand a month. And I know you guys think, oh, I can't do that. Guys, you can make 50 to 100 grand per month. You can. I've done it. I've done it. And you guys can too. So we just want to show you some of the different things that people are actually doing out there and some of the different ideas. So as we go forward, you don't exactly know the path, and sometimes the path will just hit, but you've got to continue on and do things. I think it's big to do different things within this, from how-to books to taking somebody's business and helping them. It's big time. It really does help out. So with all of that, I want to tell you guys, thank you for being on the call tonight. I really appreciate it. But send in an email to us. It doesn't take anything to say, hey, this is John, I need some help. Can you help me out? Get started. I'm stuck on a niche, or I've only done one page. I don't know where to go next. we'll try to get to you. I'll try to get into the emails and fire back, say, hey, okay, the next step you should do is here. I'll give you an idea, run with it, at least a paragraph, do something, and then we'll continue on and we'll keep going as we possibly can. So with all that, you guys, we're going to sign off. It's at the top of the hour. It's only 7 o'clock here in Florida, and I know it's late in Europe, and a lot of people are on the other side. I see people now that are you need to go to sleep, but I appreciate you guys being here. And thank you so much for a lot of the questions. Moses, you did great tonight. Some of your questions there. Lynn, thank you as always. Everybody else, I really appreciate you. All the feedback. Tracy, you're always helping. It's great. Everybody else, if I missed you, I'm sorry I can't mention everybody, but I will see you guys all next week. And if you guys need some help next week, send me something. Moses, I really like your idea, and I'd like to run with it. So if you want to do that, that's great. I think your family tree idea is great, and you could get some traffic on that one. We need to twist it. We need to build it and twist it and make it something that no one's ever done before, and I can help you with that. There's no doubt. Okay, everybody, good night. Everybody have a great week. Take care. Stay focused, stay safe, and we'll see you again. Take care, everybody. Good night.